I mean, it's very
Let's
possible.
talk about Nebraska then. Let's do it.
Because I love this Nebraska team going into 2024. Like, they had some great young guys break out last year. Cameron Linhart, Prince Wiluman on defense, Malachi Coleman and Jalen Lloyd on offense. They bring in Isaiah Nayor, who, by the way, before his ACL, was one of the most sought-after receivers in the portal coming out of Wyoming. They also got another receiver in Jamal Banks from Wake Forest. They bring in Dante Dowdell from Oregon to compete at running back. Thomas Fadone is coming into his game at tight end. They signed a complete cyborg at the tight end position in the 24 class in Carter Nelson, who's the farm boy from Ainsworth, Nebraska, playing 8-man football, who's one of the freakiest athletes in the country. I love this skill group they put together, and I think the defense is still going to be
I was going to say, can we mention Nash Hutmacher before we move on?
Right. I mean, there's a bajillion. You can keep, which is amazing. You say, wow, this Nebraska skill group is loaded, but they are. And even if they lose Chief Borders on defense who entered the portal, this is a dynamic defense. Obviously, I haven't talked about it yet, but we're getting there. What does this team look like at quarterback? If that was the biggest issue last year, they said, okay, we'll try and fix that. We'll just sign an industry 5-star in Dylan Raiola and see what happens. That is, to me, the biggest kicker to all this, Andy.
Well, and that's the thing. Dylan Raiola looked great in the spring game. That can be misleading. You can make the spring game look however you want as a coach. And let's be real. If Matt Rhule had wanted to, he could have shut down their offense entirely with telling Tony White, just put the fangs back on the defense and let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what that offense is going to look like. We do not know how it will look. I am assuming Dylan Raiola starts. Heinrich Harburg gives you some experience behind him. But if Dylan Raiola is pretty good, now he's got to take care of the ball. Like that was the downfall of Jeff Sims last year. Like if Jeff Sims can take care of the ball better, they don't lose to Minnesota. They're going to a bowl game. I don't know. They probably still lose to Colorado, but that end of the first half was just such a disaster.
Yes.
It was not going. They had no shot. But you're right. This is a team that if they are better offensively, you're talking about a completely different outlook. Now, I am very hesitant to pump sunshine in the offseason about Nebraska. Because I know how much these people get their hopes up. I know how much I feel like I have this theory that you kind of have to pump sunshine with Nebraska every offseason because it's the only thing anybody wants to talk about there. There's 94 sports talk stations. Like they have to do this. But this time, I kind of believe
it's real. It's real. Andy, look at that schedule. They could start 7-0.
Yeah.
Realistically, they could start 7-0. I mean, you got 4 home games to start, which should be great. You get Colorado week 2. I think they can handle that one. But you go at Purdue, who we're going to touch on, not a great looking squad this year. You get Rutgers at home, at Indiana with a new head ball coach. This team could be going to Ohio State 7-0. And I don't think that's a stretch.
I don't think so either. And here's the thing, if you're 6-1, you're still already bowl eligible. So that's the hump you've got to overcome. And like once you do that, then you're playing with house money the rest of the year if you're Matt Rhule. Yep. So I think this would be very interesting. I do not have them as high. Like you said, maybe a fringe playoff contender, maybe 10-2. I've got 9-3 as the ceiling, but I've got 6-6 as the floor. This team's going to a bowl game, and that streak is getting snapped.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Honestly, I have their worst case scenario 7-5. I just don't see a world in which they don't. I mean, worst case, they finish that first 7-game stretch 5-2, and then you just got to win 2 more after that. I think that's extremely possible, and I think the Nebraska hype train gets rolling going into the following year.
Oh, it's definitely going to be chugging hard now that they have to keep it going because they're going to lose lots of pieces from that. One of the reasons why we're so excited is they bring most of that defense back.
Yes.
When a lot of those guys are going to the NFL,
Completely
that's going to be
agree.
a new challenge for them. But let's not put the cart before the horse. Nebraska, get yourselves bowl eligible. You're going to do it this year. Enjoy the ride up. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.